Hello class, so for this video I'm showing you how to find sources, or at least a good place to find sources for your presentation topic. I would have gone over this in class, but we obviously had some snow this week. So what the first assignment is in terms of finding a topic for your presentation, and everybody should have a topic at this point for the presentation. I went through and gave everyone one of their selections. A few people didn't have this, or if you haven't submitted it yet, that's okay for this assignment. Just pick one topic and do this assignment for it. The assignment's more about the practice of getting a resource than actually finding a specific resource for your presentation. You don't have to use whatever you find here. So if you go to assignments, there'll be a Wikipedia source assignment right here. So this assignment here is for basically finding the first resource for your presentation. So despite what your high school teachers may have told you, Wikipedia is actually a great source for finding information. Part of the reason it's so good is because it is updated by editors constantly, and it's kind of updated to reflect modern knowledge. A website like Britannica, which is what a lot of people want to start with, and they think it's more valid than Wikipedia. It's actually less valid. It's not updated as often. It's proprietary, like it's, a company is in charge of it. And Wikipedia is a nonprofit, which means that they try to stay kind of as unbiased as possible, which is quite nice in our modern times. So what you want to do is you want to find a resource through Wikipedia. So the first thing you want to do here is go to trusty old Google as a source. Now I'm going to show you a couple things I don't want you to do when you're trying to find information. First thing is sometimes when you Google results, you get this little AI summary at the top. You can't trust the AI summary. I'll show you why. So I put in Encanto 2. If you don't know, Encanto is a Disney movie from a few years ago. And top AI summary. Encanto 2, A New Generation is an animated musical fantasy comedy that's released in 2024. Only one problem, Encanto 2 does not exist. It wasn't released last year, and it's not going to be released this year. It doesn't exist in the current state. Where this information comes from, who knows? It's probably this first link here. But this is to show you can't trust the AI overview of Google, so don't even try. The other thing you shouldn't trust, that I know a lot of people are going to want to use, is ChatGPT. Now, I'm not going to get into an argument about whether or not this is ethical to use. One thing I want to show you is that it's not actually knowledgeable. So I'm going to ask it how many R's are in the word strawberry. There's clearly 3 R's in strawberry. There's an R, and there's 2 more. When you ask it this, oh, I never got this before. It usually says 3. Right now it says 1. I've been doing this exercise for a year now, and ChatGPT has still not fixed it. That's remarkable. I didn't know that was going to happen. Let's see. Strawberry has 1 R. Oh, now it thinks it has 2. I convinced it that it has more than 1. Now I'm going to tell it I see 3 R's. All right, well, I'm not going to keep arguing with a stupid computer, but this is to show you can't trust what ChatGPT says. It also doesn't give you resources. Any sources it creates are usually fake. So where should you go for information? Good question. So go to Google and search your topic. So wind energy will be the first one I look up. Now at the top here, this doesn't have an AI summary, but has a bunch of news. We're not interested in this. This is not a politics class. We're not interested in news. You scroll down, you see a .gov website. Sometimes those can be good, sometimes not. Governments have their own bias. You see a couple other things. Down here is Wikipedia, and that's where we're going to go. If you go to the top here, there's actually also a little Wikipedia thing there. If you don't want to sift through all the crap, just type in Wiki or Wikipedia afterwards, and you'll be able to pull up your article. Okay, so here's wind power. In case you were going to do wind power, I don't think anyone's doing wind power, which is why I chose it. Ton of information here, plots, pictures, diagrams, all this stuff is really good. But the nice thing about Wikipedia is any claims it makes, it has a source. So, for example, this first sentence here, in 2022, wind supplied, I don't know what that is, terawatts? Oh, okay. Electricity, 8% of the world electricity. Okay, is that true? I don't know. But let's go to the source here. So these little numbers are the sources where they got the claims. So if you click here, it'll bring you down to the bottom. And sometimes it's a website, sometimes it's a book. It's not going to have the full book here, but this is the website. So this is the Global Electricity Review from 2024 from some company called Ember. Now, here's the whole PDF. You can read this whole thing if we want to. I actually haven't looked at this. This is probably a summary of different power sources in the world with lots of charts and tables. A lot of great information. Now, the question you have to ask yourself, is this a valid source of information? So again, Wikipedia is a great repository of sources, but you need to make sure those sources are valid. So I'm going to go to Ember Journal. I'm actually going to put in Wikipedia again. No, where is it? Oh, not Ember Journal, Ember Magazine. Yeah, there you go. So that's you can tell here's the logo. Sometimes you have to finesse it a little bit. So Ember Cornely Sandbag is an independent global think tank that uses data and policy to accelerate clean energy transition. So it's a clean energy nonprofit, which I think is actually probably a great place to look for this kind of information. So what I'm showing you here is that their information is less likely to be biased because it's a nonprofit. Also because it's global. The other thing that's nice is that Wikipedia will actually tell you if they have scandals. Sometimes you can find things that look okay. It's a .org. Oh, hold on 1 second. You think a .org is okay, or it's a nonprofit, so you think it's automatically okay. It's not necessarily true. But if there is scandals, actually it'll show up in Wikipedia there. So if you have a question about like whether or not one of these journals, this one actually seems legitimate, so that would totally be a legitimate place to go for information. You're gonna have to go through these sources here, but you have to do a little bit of work yourself. The other thing that's nice is Wikipedia topics like this is you can go down here and you can go to, they have all these little subcategories, right? How do they store energy? Economics, we're less interested in. For example, you might be interested in small wind turbines. So you might be the idea of like, little turbines for communities rather than like giant ones to power grids. And it has lots of interesting things here. There's wiring diagrams, schematics, all that kind of good stuff. So this is just to show you how valuable Wikipedia is, and it can be really powerful. And also this is where you should be to go and get information to start with, not any other source. I hope that was helpful.